my tips, if you're in a relationship and you're married, my tips on how to be a good girlfriend or wife via me, my style, okay? Because a lot of people have their own opinions of how you should act and this and that. Throw all that stuff out the window because it doesn't work. Thank you. Most of it doesn't work, and it only caters to certain people, and that still never works. So I'm going to tell you how I do it. Okay. First of all, thank you. Never help your man financially. Ever. Never help him build what should already be built. Don't offer him help. Don't give him tips. Don't be his mother. Let him figure it out for himself. He should already be most of the way there anyway if you're with him or married. So if you know something and you see him doing it a different way, don't butt in and tell him, oh, you're doing it wrong. You need to do it like this. If you do it like this, it'll be better. You need to listen to me. Blah, blah, blah. Don't do all that. Because you're just emasculating him. Okay? Yeah, you might know a better way. And I've said this in other videos. But let him do it his way. Okay? He doesn't need a mother. Okay? If you become his mother, he's not going to want to sleep with you. So don't be his mom. Another thing is, don't always have to know what he's doing. That's another mother thing. Mothers always need to know where you're going, what time you're going to be home, what you're doing, this and that. Don't be his mama. Because if you're always keeping tabs on him, he's going to be like, dang, I can't do nothing. Then he's going to feel more trapped. Then he's going to feel restricted. And what do restricted, trapped people do? Someone says, but my fiance is really, really stupid. Then you should marry him if he's that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Why are you marrying a really, really stupid person? Someone says, but my fiance is really, really, really stupid. Well, if you're going to be with a stupid person, you're also stupid. So don't marry him. Unless he's rich and he can afford to make those stupid mistakes. So you don't want to correct, especially not in front of other people. You don't want to keep tabs on him everywhere he goes, what he's doing, who he's with. Take a picture, send me a text. Don't do none of that. Okay, that's another thing that mothers do to their sons and teenage daughters. You don't want to do that. Okay. Always doing the same thing over and over. Routine. Okay. Don't get stuck in a routine. Be unpredictable. Do different stuff every week, whether it's with him or without him. Okay. Don't wait on him. For example, if you have plans and he says, I'm going to be a little late, or I'm not going to be able to make it, don't get upset. Don't get sad. Don't get mad. Just like, okay, well, I'm going to do something else. If you want to, text me later, I'll be home later. Don't get mad. Don't say, oh, I wish you would. Because if he is blowing you off to do something else with someone else, or because he don't feel like it, you're not still stuck at home sad and lonely and whatever. And he knows that. And he knows, since he stood you up or doesn't have time for you, other people are out there looking at you out and about, and you're not with anyone. And so that makes them feel a little bit vulnerable. So the next time, they're not going to stand you up. They're going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm coming home early today. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. So don't react. Strategize. Okay? Even in a marriage, you don't get upset. The more you expect out of someone, the more disappointment you will have out of them. So don't expect anything, Just be like, oh, well, I'm going to be here if you're going to be there, whatever. I'll see you at home later on. Don't give them no time. Just say later on. Or, I'm going out to eat. Let me know if you want to meet me later. Just nonchalant. The more vague you are, the more their mind is going to wonder what you're doing. And they're not going to be so quick to dismiss you or lie to you, because you don't even give them a chance to lie. Like, you don't even ask them, well, why? What's going on? You don't even give them a chance to lie, so they don't have to lie. And if they're out doing anything, their mind's on what you're doing, because you didn't tell them anything. You didn't tell them that where you were going. You didn't even seem upset. Like, you have a backup plan, or plan B, dude. So they're now thinking whatever they're thinking about what you're doing. So you never, ever get upset or react when someone cancels plans. You make other plans and blow it off, Pretty soon they're going to be thinking, you know what? I need to spend more time. She's always out and about.